What is going on? We are back, baby. How are y'all doing? Welcome to the extras. Happy Monday to everyone who celebrates. Nance in there first today. Sorry, I'm still getting set up. Hopefully we sound good. Everything look all right. I'm not quite in frame here. Sorry about that. Becky in there, close second. And Meech in there as well. What is going on, y'all? Everybody flying in. I appreciate y'all for joining me today. Hope you guys had a good weekend with the fam. Hope the traveling went smooth out there. I know a lot of people are traveling. Bacon Strip still has his shopping bag back there. He's still shopping, doing his Cyber Monday thing over there. Meech says, this is the best I'll ever do. Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I know you got a lot going on. Give her the first nod. That's right. I nominate giving Michi credit for first today. Granted. I second the nomination. Becky says, I love being in second place. We love you being here, Becky. Thank you. Oh, yes. Did you survive the day with no food and no Starbucks? That's right. Yeah, it's tough times being stuck at the hospital. I definitely know that. Oh my gosh. KO in there as well. What is going on, Crooked Orchid? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on everybody's chats here. I saw Meech was in her first in her own time-space continuum. She is first. Meech was first. Yes, absolutely. Sending love and hugs to BD as well. Hope he is recovering well. Nance says, eating some leftover sides today. It is a good day for that. You gotta get your leftovers done, okay? If they're from Thursday, it's time, guys. Finish them. There's a limited time that they're good in the fridge. You gotta get those eaten or freeze them or whatever. Do something. Don't get food poisoning, okay? Turkey is frozen. Okay, good. That's a good move. That's how you do it. Well, you bought an extra bird just to have leftovers, didn't you? That's a good move. I like that. KO says, I finished all but the stuffing. Why do I always make so much damn stuffing? Yeah. Hey, that's okay. My mom makes this oyster stuffing. Is so good. Only me and her like it, but it's delicious. Leftover mashed taters and mixed veggies. Hey, that's healthy. Cheers to that, brother. My dinner tonight is a high moon peach. So cheers. That's right. Okay, you got your Wednesday lunch. Nice. I like that. And a pile of turkey in the freezer. It is really good, though. Turkey is perfect to freeze for that. Like, just to, have portions and pull out a few for sandwiches. That's awesome. Nice and easy. Bread, turkey, done. Becky says, I can only eat so much. It was steak fajitas for dinner today. Fajitas on the flat top? Did you make them on the flat top? Oh, man. I was thinking about that flat top today. I want one so bad. Chicken was yesterday, and the husband grilled it. Okay. See, you guys still keeping it spicy out there. It doesn't matter if it's snowing up there in Cleveland. You guys are out there grilling and flat topping. I love it. Nan says, freeze the leftovers and eat them for a week or 5. Oh, in a week or 5. I got you. Yeah, absolutely. I had turkey almost every day this weekend too. I've been eating leftovers left and right. Black Magic in the chat. Happy Monday to you, sir. Hope you had a great weekend with the fam. Happy Monday. Probably how I got away with eating pie and only gaining a pound since Wednesday. Well, lucky you. Not counting your macros during Thanksgiving. I'm with it, dude. Take a break, right? Eric Freeze in the chat, too. He says, hi, everyone. What is going on, Eric Freeze? Thank you for being here. Hope you had a great weekend, my friend. No Thanksgiving up there in Canada. He is up there in Canada. CB also in the chat. What's going on, CB? She says, hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving as well, CB. Good to see you in there. Crooked Orchid says, hit that like button, Bacon Strips. I appreciate that.
Yo.
Right. Hit that like button. The speaker has stayed the same price all day, shockingly now. Okay. See, we're tracking a price of this Bluetooth speaker that's like a little under $30. It's probably worth, in real money, we're probably talking like a $5 item, okay? But it costs like about $25 or $30 depending on what title it has and what brand they name it or whatever. And they have just been going up and down with that thing. Even in the same day, it's been different. And now they've totally changed the listing title to try and circumvent the price trackers, which I think is borderline criminal, but, you know, it's allegedly or whatever you say. Dutch apple pie was hazardous for you all weekend. That is okay.
We're considered a hazardous building.
Apple pie is delicious. Apparently we're about to get a nasty snowstorm in Millersburg. Yeah, we are about to get a nasty snowstorm in a lot of places. I saw it is just like the entire Midwest is about to get smacked. So if you are in the line of the snow, get ready. I think it's supposed to start tonight where I am, and I saw on the news that it was already hitting in KC. Maybe Meech can tell us about that. Oh, Nance says it hits tomorrow. Okay, I got you. Tessa in the chat as well. What is going on, Tess? Oh my gosh. Sorry. I've been trying to get through to the bottom of the chat here. KO says, my dinner is wine. Cheers. Cheers to you. Not too cold for me to cook on the flat top. That's right, Becky. I love it. CB says, the Ohio weather can F right off. I was so cold the entire holiday. Yeah, it's, when you're used to that Florida weather, it's especially brutal. I definitely get that. Becky says, not for the husband. Okay, I got you. Tess, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving with your family. Good to see you in there. Last month was Fakesgiving for Canada. Is that a thing? Okay. I did not know that was a thing. Nance already had 2 comments hidden. Oh, okay. You see, without you here to moderate, I don't even know about the comments that are hidden because they're hidden on my side too. I think there's a way I can go back in afterwards and like unhide them or whatever, but yeah, I don't even see them. Time to buckle down on the food with Christmas cookies and the food coming in hot. Yeah, that's right. It's time to lock down the macros. We've had Thanksgiving. The excuses are over. Becky says, I will be passing on all the cookies. I'm with you. I'm with you. Nance says, I give up. Oh, man. Oh, one of KO's got blocked too? Oh, that's weird. Oh my gosh. The AI moderator going crazy on us today. Oh, they celebrate Thanksgiving in October. You just call it Fakesgiving. I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay. CB says, "Good girl, Becky." That's right. So, okay. So, what made me think of this topic is I am considering, Tess says, all good, I'm approving them all. Perfect. I love it. I'm thinking about doing review videos on my other channel, okay? For tools and products, unsponsored, completely just things that I pay for, you know? Eric says, we had a normal turkey this year. I wanted a smoked turkey. I was telling my uncle that he has to make a smoked turkey for Christmas. A smoked turkey would be delicious. I've never had that, but man, that would be so good. My brother deep fries one with his family, which is cool. It is quite a production. Nance says, my mother is making M&M cookies for Christmas. I'm gonna be struggling. Oh, okay. Becky says smoked turkey is good. Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it. It sounds good. I've had smoked ham before, and that is amazing. I have a friend who will throw something in the smoker once in a while, but I don't have one myself. But okay. So what made me think of this is I was thinking about doing reviews, right? And I heard about this guy who is getting sued for a review that he did. Okay? So I thought we could talk about his particular situation and use that as a vehicle to discuss the issue overall. Because it kind of freaked me out a little bit, and I think we're going down the wrong path with this kind of stuff. Eric says deep frying a turkey sounds dangerous. It can be dangerous. People often underestimate how long it takes to thaw a turkey, and that amount of water being in there, or if it's still frozen in the middle, man, that oil just it goes crazy, it gets everywhere. People get hurt doing that every year. So many people. Nance says, I'll have a few. Not just sit and eat the whole container in one sitting in one day. Yeah, well, that's good. You gotta spread your cookies out, you know? You don't want to eat all your cookies in one day. A grease fire is crazy. You're right, Eric. That would be crazy. We do not want grease fires. Make sure you allow several days for your turkey to thaw before you attempt to fry it, and also consider the obvious displacement factor that when you set it in the oil, the level is going to rise considerably. CB had lasagna for Thanksgiving. Love that. Okay, haven't done that. Turkey is so dry and not even good. I like lasagna too. I think turkey can be good if it's executed properly, but I have had dry turkey before. I know what you mean. Becky says ham is good as well. Did one last year for Christmas and we'll be doing one this year. You smoking one? Okay. Nice. KO says, I love the funny reviews Amazon people leave. I like that too. I'm working on an episode of just those. I think that would be fun. KO says, hazardous indeed. Fire department is called out. That's right, dude. It is a hazardous building.
We're considering
deep frying a turkey
building
that is partially frozen. Oh, okay. Becky says her sister-in-law does the ham, or does the lasagna. I got you. Eric says, once the grease ignites the pavilion, it becomes a hazardous building. Yeah, absolutely. You want to do that in the driveway, not on the deck, because the deck is flammable. Definitely. Becky says, sounds like you know from experience. Eric, I think, has seen the videos. Yes, homemade lasagna, of course. I'm with you on that. But okay, so this guy, this account is called Gluck's Gym, okay? And he is a pretty big channel, okay? He has 96,000 subscribers. And he reviews fitness equipment. And he is not alone, okay? Lots of people, lots of companies rather, spend money advertising on YouTube. And here, hold on. I already clicked out of it. I actually have, oh no, here they are. Okay. A couple of references. In a 2025 survey among marketers and industry leaders, 14.4% of respondents said they invested 10 to 15% of their marketing budget into influencer marketing. Nearly 12% devoted more than 50% to this type of digital marketing activity. So, influencer marketing's value worldwide was estimated at over $24 billion US in 2024 compared to $10 billion in 2020. So the growth is insane, okay? YouTube marketing works, and a lot of people pay companies to do these, what's called a brand deal. And obviously I don't do those, but that's where, you know, the people, they cut in and they're like, before I talk about something interesting, I'm going to talk about Ridge Wallet and Factor or whatever dumb thing, right? So, that's what we're talking about today. Brand deals, brand sponsorships that are within a video, not like an ad that plays during a video, okay? And, according to Stack Influence, Where's this number I'm looking for? Global influencer marketing spend is projected to reach $32.5 billion in 2025, and YouTube is a significant chunk of that. In the US, influencer spending jumped 23.7% last year and will top $10.5 billion in 2025. So this is huge, okay? So my point in saying those things is that the ramifications of this lawsuit are huge, okay? And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I want to give you his example first. CB says, I'd like to get paid to review fitness equipment. That sounds like the dream. You could do it. There is nothing stopping you. And a lot of these companies will send you the equipment for free because the exposure and the opinion is so valuable and highly revered in the fitness community. I mean, the guy has almost 100,000 subscribers. So, you know, if you look at his videos, like this video here is from 2 months ago, has 143,000 views. That's pretty big. I mean, my last video has like 30 views. So like, you know, this guy's huge. He's doing the thing. Nance says, long as we have video footage from all angles while in use, CB, for research and science purposes. Yes, there you go. There are a lot of research and science channels out there. Trust me. But this guy, he is really thorough. I watched a few of his other reviews. They're really good and they're well made. Okay? But he did this particular review we're talking about. And it is about this thing called the TALOS. hold on. I should pull up the product page first. The TALOS all-in-one lat pull-down low row multifunction cable pulley trainer. Okay? Big mouthful, but it's $4,000. $3,899 is the regular price. Comes in 4 colors. There it is. That's what the thing looks like. Okay, that's what we're talking about, and this is the product he reviewed. It's almost $4,000, so just keep that in mind. Eric says LiftMaster should send me garage door openers so I can tell people how bad they are. See, that's what I'm saying. That's one of the points I want to make is if they know that you're going to say that their product is bad, are they going to send you a product? You know, so what I'm imagining is that a marketing person saw his other videos of him speaking positively about a product, and they saw all the comments and they thought, wow, I want that for myself. So they sent him for free this product to review and probably paid him. I don't know if he's going to get into that. Meech says, Kay, I'm back. Had to feed the kids and the big kid who's getting waited on hand and foot in bed after surgery. Poor guy. I hope he's doing good. The recovery has begun. I hope you're doing well as well. Okay, so here is the original review video in question, and it is titled, This is the worst product I've ever reviewed. Okay, so already he's coming out swinging. Nance says from other YouTube channels they will send it, but tell them what to say. Being I've had a few channels who will say I won't do sponsored reviews, so I'm not told what to say. Okay. Yeah. Now, I think a lot of companies, they will limit what you say, but they aren't going to prevent you from having an opinion. I don't think. But I may be wrong about that. CB says, I think I had the same surgery and was cooking my own dinner the same night. See, that's not good, though. You shouldn't be doing that. Meech says, I love this story. Okay, great. Nance says, okay, they'll only do a review on a product they bought with their own money and can give an honest review. That's what I like. That's the kind of channels I'm in for. Becky says, CB, we're women. We bounce back the same day. That's right. Exactly. Men cannot, we can't, we're in the hospital, dude. That's gonna be a crisis for us for at least a few days. We're gonna drag that out. KO says ghosts and can cook now. Okay. All right. So here's the video. This is the worst product I've ever reviewed from Gluck's Gym.
I'm gonna start this one off with an apology. While I appreciate Vulcan sending us the TALOS for a review, I'm sorry. If I paid well over $4,000 for this thing, I'd be pissed. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some good things about it that I'll try to point out as we go, but
Okay, so this is like a multi-function. You can do every exercise with this one thing, kind of a weight bench device. Okay, I get you. Now I'm kind of seeing what it is. It's like every machine at the gym combined into one, with a weight bench. Oh my gosh, Becky. She says, my husband's having the same thing done in 9 days and not looking forward to it. He will be a big baby. Oh my gosh, y'all. Why do you keep... Ugh, everybody hurting themselves out there. Take it easy, guys. Lifting too heavy is probably what it is. I'm sure that's what it was, right? He was like doing his maxing out his PR, you know. I don't know. I don't know lifting words. Nance says, whenever I'm looking at stuff for my bikes, I'll watch as many channels and see who bought them, who bought said item, and what they had to say. Yeah, I'm with you. I always check YouTube if I'm going to buy a thing too, because I want to see somebody using the thing. CB says, I actually swung by the Mexican spot right from the surgery center and drank a couple margs on my way home. Jeez. That is wild, dude. KO says it looks like an erector set or a Lego weight set. I know. I thought the same thing. I get why they have all the little notches so you can adjust it and do different stuff. Okay, so let's see. I want to see why it's the worst thing he's ever had.
Bad has to outweigh the good tenfold. So let's start right.
Yeah, keep in mind, this thing's $4,000, okay? I don't know how much fitness equipment costs, but I think anyone would agree $4,000 is a lot to spend on a piece of equipment, and you want to make sure that you're getting a good product at a good value. Meech says, we all know BD is the full embodiment of man cold. Yes, that's okay. That's okay. Let him have his moment. I wish him well in his healing. CB says, I had to get my blood alcohol level back to normal after 24 hours of no food or drink. That's great. See, I feel like men are just not as tough, not nearly as tough. Like we can't deal in a situation like that. Nan says, I was a huge baby for mine, but the pain was insane. The second one went better. The second one? Jesus. Lord have mercy, y'all. Take it easy out there.
Where you would with assembly, and that's with me ignoring the ordering process.
Okay, so we start with assembly.
Worst website. Keep in mind, I've built
he hates the website.
I do this almost every week, and this might be the worst experience I've had. If you take a look at these sick and...
Okay, so that I think is an important point. This guy does this for a living. He literally builds these sets and tests them for his job, okay? So if anyone is going to be good at constructing them, it would be someone who does it all the time for their job, right? So here he is trying to figure out the instructions for this thing, and he cannot, like, the website's clunky and bad. KO says, give him a blankie, Meech. I can create life and push 4 humans out of my body and literally not have 1 minute of downtime, but he has 1 30-minute surgery from a self-inflicted injury, and he gets 72 hours of me babying him. That sounds... that sounds wrong. I'll leave it at that. I don't agree with that. Oh my God, Nance. Oh, Lord have mercy. You had to go back. Oh, I don't know if I can even read that out loud. This stuff makes me queasy. Oh, Meech says, like, I don't do enough of that already, right? Come on now. You're already doing it full time. Like, Lord have mercy. Now it's overtime. CB says, I've learned my lesson on maxing out my deadlifts. Okay, good. That's good. Keep it under 500 for now. They surely didn't care when it came to billing time, though. Yeah, that is true. Okay, so if anyone can put one of these things together, it's this guy, but he can't get it done.
Instructions, everything's done in 4 easy steps, except, step 2, where it's actually like 30.
There's 4 steps for building this thing. That doesn't seem like enough steps. There's no words either. It looks like it's just these blown out diagrams with lines through where the bolts go and numbers to tell you what kind of bolt to use. So that seems really fun. No kind of order about which thing should go on first. You just like slam everything together.
5 steps in one. And the problem with that is, I'll give you a great example. When we put this bottom cross member in, we put it upside down. Now, how would we know it's upside down? We wouldn't, because there's no indication on the freaking directions. So I put the...
This man is going through it right now. I feel like I feel like he just built this and he is like still in his rage from
Hit
that.
stack on and then realize it's upside down, got to take it apart and do it all again. The hardware, there's a bunch of different sizes, but they're all within 5 millimeters of each other, and you have no idea what's what.
We've all felt the weight of challenge.
Okay, so already a nightmare if they don't properly label the hardware, because if they tell you to use bolt B and you don't know which one that is, and you need to get the
Grease and
micrometer
oil
out,
on
I think that's a little ridiculous.
everything here, and I basically resulted in building it by looking at the low-res, grainy-ass pictures they've got on their website. But
Gotta
that's
get the
not even that
professional
bad.
team
Once I
surgeon,
got it
Nance,
together,
that's right.
which took me days, by the way, I put Rogue's Rhino trainer together, a much more
Yeah, I think Nance's surgeon might have been like still in training or something. Went to the biggest hospital in my area. Oh no.
complex machine than this.
Okay, so here's the competitor, and that thing looks solid. That's from Rogue Fitness. That thing looks like a beast right there. I like that one.
4 hours. This took days. And once it was done, I got this.
Okay, so the other ones took 4 hours to build. And keep in mind, that's with his experience. So a regular person, it probably would take you longer than 4 hours. But this said it took him days. And now he is going to show the... CB says, I think the in my area is the issue. It could be. Meech says, I mean like the NFL surgeon. Yeah, there you go. You got to get the best of the best on the case. Oh, the doctor informed you don't have any abdominal structure. My insides are that of a 7-year-old. My inner tissues never form. Well, that sounds like a thing that you could fix with muscle development. But I don't know. I'm no doctor. Anyways, okay. So it took him days to put it together, and now he's about to show you the thing that he hates about it the most.
Machine than this in 4 hours. This took days. And once it was done, I got this.
That is just being mean.
We dancing with that cable slack. Now you think that's bad? I spent another half a day.
Okay, now the reason why the cable slack is a problem is because you want the weight to be applied like through the full range of motion of the exercise. So if the first like few inches of pull, there's no tension, you're not getting like the full range of motion, I guess.
Tweaking, modifying, and changing things to get it this good. And I have about a 50 email comment chain back.
He has a 50 email comment chain back and forth trying to figure out how to assemble this thing correctly to where it doesn't have slack in the cables. There's nothing you can do about it? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, yeah, definitely be careful then. Be careful out there, Nance. Wear your full gear. At GAT, right? That's all the gear all the time for non-biking people. He gets so mad about this slack, Meech says. Yeah, he really is mad about the slack. And I had to go, I watched other people's videos to verify kind of like whether they would be as mad about it as he is, and they said it's a problem. Becky says, but you do you. Just shows some things you don't care about your body, sir. Yeah, you gotta be careful, my man. You gotta be careful. But okay, so he has a 50 email exchange with this company. Now, I don't think that the normal consumer is gonna get 50 emails back and forth with the company, especially high-level people within the company towards the end, like this guy did, because he's got a brand deal. So he already has special access to the brand that we wouldn't have. So if he's having this many struggles to get this thing done correctly, I don't see how a consumer is looking at this video and thinking, I'm going to have a good experience with this product. I mean, already he's called it, this is the worst product I've ever reviewed. We knew it was not going to be good.
Back and forth with the company, trying to figure out what I did wrong. And I didn't do anything wrong. You know what they told me? People have different preferences.
I'm sorry to keep pausing it, but I just love his energy. Like, he's just like you can see him descending into madness. Like, you guys, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, listen to this. I love the energy. I love it.
And I didn't do anything wrong. You know what they told me? People have different preferences in how tight the cables are.
Oh, okay.
No,
Some people...
All we want
Some people
is a
want
tight
it to
cable,
suck.
So when we pull on it, it's responsive. This is awful.
What?
Have I set the scene for you?
That's
All
a lot of slack.
Let's talk about these cables. In the home gym scene, it's become popular to say, throw some aluminum pulleys on there. They make things buttery smooth. Chef's kiss.
Okay.
But there's a lot more that goes into the pulley system than the pulleys themselves. And luckily, Vulcan has demonstrated every single thing you could do wrong. These front pulleys, they're big, they work well enough, the bearings are quality. And you go straight up to a smaller pulley, and it actually ends up at the top and the bottom, so no matter how you pull, with an even smaller pulley. So you're trying to route these big, thick, stiff cables through progressively smaller pulleys. It introduces a lot of friction. And on a lot of these pulleys, the groove is too small for this thick cable. Again, more friction. So it's not...
I feel like the pulley design is going to be central to a device like this, because if you don't have smooth bearings and motions on the cable, it's going to be unusable.
Responsive, and it feels like If we back up a little bit, we've got two 300-pound stacks. That's great. I've got a 2-to-1 ratio on this. So if I set my weight to 33 pounds, because why would you sell a weight stack in the United States in pounds? Just do it in kilos. 33 pounds, I've got a 16.5-pound starting weight, and it feels like 40 pounds. As a functional trainer, this thing...
I don't know what all of that math means. Maybe someone smarter than me can figure that part out, but okay.
...is not good. Now, I did say I'd say some nice things about this, and the trolley is actually really nice. I don't know if the microphone can pick that up. If you can ignore the cheap-sounding bearings grinding around in there.
I mean, it is going to make noise
That's
when
a compliment.
you use
We're counting
it.
as a compliment.
That's
We're
okay.
ignoring the fact that there's no hole here for the mag pin, so that's just always flopping around. It's great.
We love it flopping around.
It's also a lat pull down in a low row, though. And there's no way they could have done worse, right?
Okay.
Well, here we go. Let me set the stage. The TALOS came
This
about
guy is
after the
really
Aries
into it,
1.0.
man.
So
He
if you've
is-
seen the Aries 1.0.
He is going through it with this thing. Sorry, I'm getting behind here. Nance says, I'm getting better, CB. I've dropped a ton of weight. 300 to 227. Nice work, brother. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yo.
That is amazing.
Yo.
75 pounds almost. From 3X to XL. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations on that. That is amazing. You are making steps for sure. CB says you don't make up for 30 years in 3 months. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Meech says this is the best review. Yeah, I think so too. He was really, really thorough with this. And he actually was pretty fair in saying the things that he did like, and he did give him credit. And he did a 50 email exchange to try and make sure that he had it assembled correctly after he found things that he didn't like. So it wasn't like he put it together wrong and then made a review calling it horrible. He really made an effort to be able to have good things to say about it. been a year or so of working on myself, so it's getting better. Hey, that's awesome, man. CB says 1 year down, another lifetime to go. But hey, building those habits is the important thing. Yeah, KO, I have no idea what all of the math means when you're putting it on here and you got 16 and a half, but it's 40 pounds. I don't know what that means. Maybe like you can use the pulleys to make the weight feel heavier. I don't know. What's the point? What's the going price of a good unit compared to the price of this one? Nance says, hold on just a sec. I should have pulled that up. Okay, so the, let's see, the Rogue Fitness, what would you call it? Multi-purpose rack? I don't know. Okay, yeah. Okay. Check it out. Here is the Rogue FM6. Looks similar. It is $5,800. The Rogue FML6 functional trainer is $3,930. So they're in the lane on the price. $4,000 isn't expensive. It's actually kind of in the middle of the range. Because there's ones here that are like $2,200, $2,400. So that's not too bad at $4,000. But at $4,000, I'm expecting exceptional quality. Especially on something where, you know, really there's not a lot of machining to do. You're taking square steel and drilling holes in it. It's really, like, it's easy to be precise with a machine. Rogue has a functional trainer for $5,000 that is similar. Okay, functional trainer is a good name for it. I like that. I'll call it that. The amount of time this dude has put into trying to set this up, I would have sent it right back. Me too. He gave it way more than a fair shake. I definitely agree with that. KO says, I wish I could hit the like button on your successful journey, Nancy Pants. Hey, me too. It is definitely helps me, you know, motivates me to get out there and stick with my gym routine, knowing that y'all are out there doing it. If he's being critical on a unit that would cost $10,000 for a good unit, and this is $5,000, then that's a bit hard on it. Yeah, I agree, but this is like kind of, Rogue, CB says Rogue is top of the line though, and can confirm it's not nearly as hard to set up. So, yes, I agree. The Rogue Fitness is like top of the line equipment. So to be almost the price of the top of the line, you really have to be better quality than this, because you can get an economy version of this for $2,200, which is, you know, almost half of what they're charging. Me says, I have no idea how much equipment costs. Me either. I just paid the gym. Yes, there are colors. That's true. They do have different colors. I do like that as well. KO. I like that he has a blue one. That's kind of neat. Meech says, Nance and I share clothes now. Oh my gosh, dude. No way. That's amazing. CB says, my best friend's daughter works at Rogue, so the discount slaps. Hey, that's sweet. You got the hookup on a Rogue discount, especially on something that's big like that. That's huge. But okay, so now he gets into comparing
stacks,
other similar sets, and their functions as far as like benching, leg press, and lat pull down.
Then the Ares 2.0 came along and evolved a lot of other things, but Vulcan does get credit for coming up with that system. So let's look at the low row, and you'll see how this is kind of a hybrid between the 1.0 and the 2.0 of reps. We've got this fantastic banana clip system, which I love. It's not awkward at all. And now we have the world's
This is the thing he hates about it, right here.
Super awkward, but let me just pop an attachment in here for you.
Because...
And you'll see how fun this is.
When
Super easy, right?
When he does
it's
it,
90 degrees.
It's hitting his feet.
So how do we fix that? We can, got those big 300-pound stacks. I've got 300 pounds to work with. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. You combine it, ends up being 1-to-1. You get 300 pounds. This is great. And when I'm done in my set, I just break my own feet, because the only way I can get range of motion, this weight is now sitting on my bones, my feet right now, is to telescope this thing out.
Especially if it's a lot of weight. Like, what if you dropped it?
And that's with me completely ignoring the fact that I've got 2 different cable lengths here, because I can't adjust the cable tension on the trolley like you can do with literally every other cable machine out there. But
I love the crash out. He's like, because I can't adjust the thing on the trolley like literally every other machine on the like, he is clearly just going through it with this thing. Eric says, I've used similar equipment at the gym, but I've noticed that they don't have any slack and it works. Yeah, exactly. I feel like slack is a pretty bad thing on a piece of gym equipment, especially a cable, because the whole first 10% of the range of motion would have no weight applied, so you're not really doing a full workout. Who's gonna be sitting on the floor doing low rows? I guess if you have to, if this is the way you do it with this, but yeah, I'm not gonna risk my feet getting broken. Yes, this is a bizarre setup. I agree. So, okay. So he goes through a lot of things. And here's the other most replayed part. This is the lat pull down.
Meet the 3x3 cable town.
Okay. Lord. They're just, now they're going to be selling me gym equipment. Okay.
It's not that bad. Another great compliment from me. But the thing
4
people have to
compliments,
realize
guys.
is there's absolutely no benefit to me in making this review. Vulcan's never going to work with me again. I have to deal with their wrath, and my affiliate is dead. I've been sent cease and desist. I've been quoting lawsuits, and there are a lot of companies that won't work with me. Sorry, Newbell. Nobody makes content like this because why would you? It's better to just go put a positive spin on something and collect your affiliate money.
This is the original review,
money,
okay?
It'll lose me money.
Keep in mind
of it.
This is the original review
subscribe so my kids can at least
that he did after they gave him this thing for free. Okay.
All right. About the rack though, it's just your typical 3x3 rack with 1-inch holes and equal 2-inch hole spacing.
I like how it has the numbers on there. No, that's cool.
It does have those specs in some places. But for example,
I'm sure everyone else has those
equal
too.
Hole spacing is not throughout the rack, which I'll come back to. This is actually Sorinex's hole spacing where the lines or the holes are in line with each other, which means you can't put attachments close to each other because they're sharing the same hole. Up here, you'll see the hole spacing and sizing changes, but it's 1/2-inch holes, not 5/8. Why would you do 5/8? Well, every 3x3 rack is 1-inch or 5/8.
I'm just going to have to trust him on that. I have no idea.
Trying to make an argument, but they didn't. And then that's the same on the cross members, except there's no holes vertically on the cross members, which kills your versatility. I can't use band pegs on this thing if I had a 6-post rack. I can't attach anything here. I can't store anything here like I do on my other racks. Let's say I wanted to put an actual pull-up bar on here. I could use my Black Widow training gear pull-up extension bars, except not here.
But you shouldn't have to use a different product for something that's supposed to be like all-in-one, you know, functional trainer. So, he makes this review, right? This is from 2 months ago, okay? And then this is the video I saw first because it was hyped on YouTube a bunch. And it is called I Got Sued.
I'm being sued for my review of the Vulcan Strength Talos all-in-one rack. Vulcan.
Now, to be clear, the company involved in this is called Vulcan Strength. because there's another company called Vulcan something else, and they're in Australia. I don't even want to say their name because their name's getting dragged into the mud on this, and it's horrible. This company's called Vulcan Strength, okay? And they're based in the United States. But they have decided to sue my man after making that video.
Filed a complaint for a jury trial in North Carolina where they're located, and they're suing me for false advertising and defamation, alleging I made a highly negative video which intentionally made false, misleading, and deceptive statements about the TALOS product.
Now, this is very important. To sue for defamation, they're going to have to prove several things here. Number one being that the stuff that he says in the video is not true. And that's going to be hard because some of it is kind of just opinion. A lot of it is opinion. And personal experience. And just saying, I was not able to assemble this even after my best efforts to contact this company and figure out what was the problem with the cable tension, what was the problem with, whatever, all of these weird issues he's having that he hasn't had with other similar products. So they said that he made a highly negative video, which he did, in which he makes intentionally false, misleading, and deceptive statements about the TALOS product. Now, that is the next thing that they're going to have to prove. They're going to have to prove that he intentionally defamed them. So he, on purpose, said A, B, and C just to make them look bad, is what the lawsuit is alleging so far. CB says, so they are suing him for stating facts about their shoddy functional trainer. It would appear that way, yes. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from the situation.
My review was negative, and I stand by it. So with our lawyer's help, I'm going to step you through many of the points of that 16-page complaint so I can respond to them.
A 16-page legal complaint, y'all. So now he has to a guy with 96,000 YouTube subscribers all of a sudden is up against this Vulcan Strength corporation, and he's got to hire lawyers to represent him. This is insane.
Complaint is simply their allegations towards us. I think their allegations are often misleading and inaccurate. I had that rack system for more than 3 months before we published that video, which I think is a more than fair amount of time to test it and to communicate with Vulcan. We have something like 70 emails between us.
70?
And we've had
it's
several
more than
phone
50.
calls as well.
Okay.
I believe I did my due diligence.
He did more than his due diligence. If they didn't fix your problem after 2 emails, 90% of consumers are done. If they even are going to write the first email, and like CB said, most people are just going to return it. For $4,000, why would you fiddle with it? Eric says, how is the information false if it's true? Exactly. They're going to have to prove that it's not true. Yeah, 70 emails. Exactly. Oh my God, I need a 70 downloads button. I got to find that sound. Maybe Eric can help me.
In my opinion, is a bullying tactic. It's intimidation. Gluck Gym is a small family-owned channel. It's just me, my wife, and an editor doing everything. We do not have the money, time, and resources to fight lawsuits.
Okay, guy. Obviously, you've paid a model millions of dollars to make your videos with you.
I assume with Vulcan having as large of a product catalog as they do,
they make a lot of stuff.
Previously sued companies like Rogue Fitness, that they have more resources than we do. So suing for a public retraction, damages, attorney fees, and all costs is obviously a lot for us to worry about. This entire thing has been very stressful and costly, and the process
I imagine, dude, that would be
We've already paid a retainer to a lawyer, and there's a lot of fees and costs that we'll have to pay to fight this. I've had a lot of people reach out to us about helping us do just that. So if that's something
CB says this product isn't even in stock on their website, it's pre-order. I noticed that too when we went and looked at it just now. That is interesting.
you're interested in, we've set up a GoFundMe, which I've linked in the description to help alleviate some of those costs.
Oh, okay, so here's the ad for the Rogue Fitness equivalent, and it looks like it's made, it just looks higher quality to me. I don't know. I'm an amateur at this stuff, though. I've only seen the stuff that's at my gym.
Have
so
huge ramifications, not only on consumers, but reviewers too. If companies can just threaten or sue people for making honest reviews, then nobody's going to make them because they'll fear the repercussions.
Now, what he's showing here is B-roll from other YouTubers who have been sued by companies for making videos about products. CB says, oh wait, I already read that. Aren't reviews in themselves opinion-based content? I don't understand how you can sue someone over their opinion. That's what I'm saying. Most of these things that he says are just opinion, so really you can't say that it's true or false, because he's just saying to him, this is how I experience the product.
Meaning all content that's delivered to us in all niches will then be tainted. All right, let's start at the beginning. In July of 2024, the CEO of Vulcan reached out to us about reviewing their TALOS and Forge.
This man is in direct communication with the CEO of the company and was not able to have a good experience with this product. So what are the chances that a normal person is going to have a good experience with it, right? I want to get to the part where he like starts going through the lawsuit, because I'm kind of curious like what they actually are saying that he did. Okay. Vulcan resent a full copy of the assembly instructions, including 4 detailed schematic pages. Yeah, we saw the schematic pages in your 4-step instructions. He said like the Rogue Fitness instructions had like 44 steps, which seems more fitting for something that's as complicated as this. Was he supposed to say the low row bar wasn't going to bust your feet? Because it clearly is. Yeah, exactly. Like, is he supposed to lie about this? What did they want him to do there? So they're saying that they've sent a 3D virtual model showing every detail of the product was available on Vulcan's website.
Already had the schematic pages. It's the other set of directions that hadn't been sent to me. We'll get to those next. I don't think the schematics are detailed.
Hold on, I want to see that page again, because it said...
...of Vulcan's accurate and misleading.
With respect to the tautness of the cables, Vulcan advised that standard cables are intentionally designed with 1.5 inches of slack, but because customers have different preferences for cable slack, Vulcan ships shorter cables to any consumer that prefers them at no charge. Oh, hey, we have a cable that doesn't suck, but you actually have to call us and ask us to send it to you separately. We don't include it in the box. Oh, perfect. In a follow-up telephone call, Gluck said the existing cables were fine, and there was no need for Vulcan to send shorter cables. So oh my gosh, dude, this is insane that they would even, like, this is the thing they're going after him for?
I already had the schematic pages. It's the other set of directions that hadn't been sent to me. We'll get to those next. First, show the pulley bracket that Cyrus and I emailed back and forth about while I was having issues with the cables and assembly. On the contrary, the directions and model all show the older pulley bracket that apparently Vulcan had stopped using. The same ones I believe this email is telling me they didn't send me, but that I had already installed on the rack. Also,
okay, so they changed the design and they didn't update it in their schematics or in their instructions.
In response to my initial feedback, Vulcan agreed the...
Also, now, this is all alleged because I don't know if this is true or not, but I just heard another company allege that it could be allegedly possible that allegedly this company might possibly not be the company that manufactures the product necessarily, or designs it really. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know for sure, but it's possible that someone else designs and manufactures this product. So if that's the case, then how could they even have a claim to sue for damages on defamation of a design that's not theirs for a product that they don't manufacture? I don't know. But I'm just spitballing there because I don't know that for sure. Now, so they are responding to him, but like you see in each email, he has like 4 conversations that they're having at a time. Like he has all these different concerns, and they are addressing them sort of, but they're kind of pushing him off too. KO says, it doesn't look like a Barbie set. I think for any serious bodybuilder who wants a colorful set like the other one, it might be a baby vanity set, like more for TikToks and such things. Yeah, I agree. It kind of looks unserious.
Directions needed work and acknowledged my issues.
Eric says, why can't they just add something to adjust the cable?
Right? 31D of the complaint.
He said all their competitors
by saying it
have
can
a way to
only
adjust the cable
logically
tension.
be installed one way, and that the directions clearly show proper installation.
It can only logically be installed one way. Logically. But can it physically be installed the wrong way? Because that is the argument that we're having here, not whether it's logical or not.
Installation.
Also, I don't know how you could claim that something is logical when you're literally just showing 4 exploded views of the assembled product with 0 like actual instruction.
Here's step 1 of the schematics, the step when you install the rear crossmember. There's no indication of the orientation of this rear crossmember.
Okay. And also, they conveniently have your millimeters marked right on the bottom of the instructions there, so that you can measure your bolts since they're unlabeled.
Indication of the orientation of this rear crossmember. If we zoom in, these are the holes they're referring to in the complaint. I also don't see any mention of its orientation on the step-by-step directions.
Now, it's crazy to me that his lawyer allowed him to make a video refuting the lawsuit. I think they might be hoping that they're just going to drop it at this point. Because they really should. If you aren't familiar with the Streisand effect, where attempting to conceal something draws more attention to the same fact, it is definitely happening here with this guy and this product.
Well, neither set of directions show or make mention of the holder. The only picture of a 4-post on the TALOS listing isn't high definition.
So he's going through
you can't
every
reference
single
that either
issue
because
that he
it's
had with
too
the
grainy.
thing.
So
And they're
I looked at the
literally
3D
putting
model
all
that
those issues
shows
in the
every
lawsuit.
detail of the project and copied that. I
crazy.
do not know where else you could put those and store the bar. Even with all of that though, we were able to eventually assemble it, and we got their new brackets on correctly so that we could test it. Although I did still have issues with the cable.
Wait, so they sent him new brackets too? See, they're not going to do this for a normal consumer. They're not going to. Eric says, logically, when there's 4 photos that don't tell you exactly how to assemble it. Yeah, exactly.
And pulleys,
Yeah.
which Vulcan
Just use
brings
your
up
logic.
in 31A, B, and C, and potentially other places. The complaint can be found online, like my review, and I've linked them both in the description, and you can read the filing yourself and make your own judgments. The complaints that I just listed, in my opinion, are misleading as they don't tell the full story. B talks about pulley grooves, but Vulcan is using several different size pulleys in different locations, and they're not refuting the portion of that same statement, that rant.
Okay, so in regards to the cables, they say, he says, this pointing to the cable is awful. Nowhere does he disclose that Vulcan sends shorter cables to all customers on request at no charge, or that he told Vulcan in advance that sending shorter cables was unnecessary and that the existing cables were fine. I don't think he has a duty to disclose that, though, because a normal consumer would not know that you could even send away for shorter cables, and no one would know about that if it weren't for this man.
They call it, on how I thought some of those pulleys were too small for the diameter of the cable they were using. C says, I falsely assert that the user can't adjust cable tension from the trolley. This is misleading because in the clip they're referring to, I'm talking about how I have two different cable lengths on the left and right side of the low row.
Which seems like a huge problem if you're trying to have an even row.
Unevenness I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I can't fine tune the cable tension to get those two cables to be the same length when I pull the bar.
Which you can do on the competitor's product.
I want it even and balanced. When I'm talking in the review, I show a clip of me adjusting Rogue's Indy where they use a bolt that allows the user to fine tune the tension. It's a similar tension system that you'd find on Reps and other systems. Okay. Yes, you can adjust the cable tension on Vulcan's trolley. It can be set to one of three positions. But if the cables are loose, no matter how you adjust them, that tension system doesn't work.
And having three pegs instead of having a bolt that you can adjust is horrible.
All I can do is make them looser. A loose cable allows the floating pulleys to move during use and increases the likelihood that the cables will fall off the pulleys. We've talked about that very thing happening in videos like our Fringe Walrus review. My other problem was if their cables have a tolerance of 1.75 inches, and they're telling me that the majority of customers don't think in...
Sebia says, even and balanced, who wants that? Yeah, exactly. You gotta think about it logically. I mean, obviously, one of your arms is gonna be slightly longer than the other one, and so the cable length reflects that.
Inch or so of slack is a problem, and that everyone has different preferences. This is what 31A is talking about.
Okay, everyone has different preferences. Some people prefer the cables to be different lengths. I got you. Okay.
And to me, that shows they know about the slack, it's intended, and they don't think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Also, I talked with their CEO on the...
Or, in my alternate theory, they have no ability to actually adjust the design of the product at all, since they're not the one manufacturing it, potentially? I don't know. Allegedly. People are saying, okay, I'm just asking questions.
The phone about many of my issues with the rack in July, and in that conversation, he admitted that he didn't know how companies like Rogue and Rep, as well as others, implemented trolley cable tension systems.
Hold on a second! You're telling me the representative from the company said that he didn't know how other companies adjust the tension in their cables? How are you not aware of who your competitors are and how it's all set up? That is crazy to me that you would admit that to a client, that you have no idea about your own competitors.
That bolt system I just showed many companies use. And
Wow.
the CEO said, as a small company, they weren't able to research or purchase other systems to find out. I'm paraphrasing that. This conversation took place by phone 4 months.
There's a small company, they aren't able to purchase other systems to find out. See, that's interesting because if you were manufacturing it, you could make your own part and just make a different part and test it, right? my conspiracy theory is starting to sound more and more possible. Becky says nobody can have an opinion these days. Black and white facts only. Yeah, apparently not, because they will sue you if you don't like their stuff. No market research. That's right, Nietzsche. Why would you do any market research? They have like 3 competitors. You know how hard it would be to look up how 3 competitors... You don't even have to buy the competing product if you're too small to be blowing that money. Just look at it. Just look at pictures of it. I mean, I don't know. That's just me, I guess. I'm crazy.
I told him he could look online. Rogues and Ref's directions are posted publicly. And
my man, I should have just unpaused it. Yeah, the competitors' instructions are posted for free online, so you don't even need to buy the competing product to see how it's set up and how it's put together.
Clearly, both show how to adjust their systems, and they even refer...
And it looks like they have more than 4 steps just for adjusting the cable tension here.
to keeping the cables tight.
Eric says this company doesn't know what R&D is. You know what? They might not be doing any of their R&D if they're buying this like as kind of a white label thing, but I don't know. I don't know whether they are the manufacturer or not. I'm just asking questions.
So, in my opinion, after putting together...
Oh my god. No way, y'all! That is an ad for this thing, you guys! Vulcan Strength purchased an ad in the middle of this man's review where he's telling you about how they're suing him? That's insane, bro. And also, it's wild to me, because if you are in the partner program with YouTube, you can block certain companies from putting ads on your thing. So if you're like, let's say you design fitness equipment, you don't want other companies to advertise their fitness equipment on your videos, you could ban a company. So Vulcan paid for ads on the video about them getting sued for their horrible product. I love it, dude. I can't believe that just happened right now. Oh my god.
It makes sense that we need tight cables that we're able to adjust. Yes, as 31A states, Vulcan did offer to send me new cables sometime after I sent my initial feedback to them.
Okay.
But why don't they provide the correct length to begin with to all customers? I understand the cable tolerance, but that's why there's a floating pulley system where you can adjust for tension and the trolley cable adjustment system within the TALOS.
And honestly, looking at those pulleys, dude, it looks cheap. It looks cheap.
Those two things exist so you can tighten the cables.
In my opinion.
If you're sending cables that are too long, then they can't be tightened. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm talking directly with the CEO and owner of the company by phone and email.
Yeah.
My
Most people
experience
aren't
is
going to have
not
access to that
of a typical consumer.
Exactly.
They know my review will get a lot of exposure.
Right.
My channel is why
so they're going to go out of their way to make sure
so I
that
don't
he
think
has a good experience. And even still, with all of that, they still couldn't get it done.
Far-fetched for me to think that customers wouldn't be offered that same experience, especially because there's no mention of being able to contact them about the cable length in the TALOS listing. So how would your average consumer even know that's something they can do, or that
unless they found it on your video about how horrible they are?
Something they should look out for. Despite all that,
if it weren't for his
having
review, no one would know.
3 months, I still hadn't filmed a review until I got a phone call from someone contracted through HandyBuddy that said they were coming to get the rack. The gentleman on the phone told me he was having trouble getting in contact with Vulcan, so he reached out to me. I was a bit taken back by that, which is why I emailed them saying I'd have appreciated a heads up before sending someone to my house. Yes, I had given them the option to take the rack back and even told them they could do so, but nobody ever confirmed with me they were going to. So I told Vulcan that because of the issues we've dealt with,
they just sent a dude That's wild. They were just like, yeah, go over there and get our stuff back, and didn't even tell him. Meech says, white labeling a system like this would be reckless, to be honest. Yeah, I would say that's an understatement. That is hilarious. Eric, I agree. This is blowing my mind every second here. I can't believe this. CB says, for sure, Meech, people actually could get hurt. Yeah, I absolutely. Especially on that low row thing, like you're gonna have a broken toe.
And because they've been selling the rack for years, since 2023, that we're going to publish our review because we feel that we owe it to the consumers, our viewers, to share the review. I felt like we had played email and phone tag long enough.
That's right, they sent
This
the
didn't
repo,
seem
man.
to be going anywhere, and the fixes we had discussed wouldn't have addressed
He's
many of
backing
the
in with
other
his tow
issues
truck
my
before they
review
even
mentions
called the guy.
that their complaint doesn't, like how the low row can apply pressure to your feet, which could injure you. I felt like
Apply
they were
pressure
offering
is an
Band-Aid
interesting way to
fixes that
say
didn't address
break your
major
foot.
problems, and that the TALOS was an outdated design that had too many flaws.
In my
Morally,
opinion.
I think publishing the review was the right thing to do, but as
I
I talked
agree.
about in our review
I
video,
agree.
there's a lot more downsides of posting a highly negative review than upsides. This lawsuit being a perfect example of the repercussions, even though,
yeah.
in my opinion, and to the best of my ability, everything I said in that video and this one is true. As for Vulcan insinuating I fabricated a negative and incendiary review of a small manufacturer because a negative review of products from large manufacturers.
Enabling defendants to portray themselves as crusaders while protecting the competitive interests of the dominant companies in the industry who generate most of the defendants' revenue. Oh! I did not get that impression from his first review that he was trying to be a crusader. I saw a man who was frustrated and had done his very best and made way more attempts than anyone else would have made to build your stupid product that costs $4,000.
Would impact my revenue, and
Lord
then they
have
specifically
mercy,
call out Rep
dude.
and Rogue. I've got a few
okay.
thoughts there. Number one is that Vulcan's affiliate percentage is set to 12% for us, which I believe is our highest affiliate percentage.
That's
meaning
crazy.
the TALOS, which was valued at over $4,000, would pay out around $500 per affiliate sale.
What?
To put that in perspective,
No
Rep's affiliate percentage
way.
is 5%. So a similar
Dude. Okay. That's so this, you're telling me if you had just shut up about the 2-3 problems that you had with the thing and just made a happy video about this product, you would have got 500 bones for every single one you sold? That's, dude, we're in the wrong business. Like, what? I want, shh. $500, y'all, and he still put that video up. This is a hazardous piece of fitness equipment that shouldn't be for sale. That is your opinion, Eric, and you are allowed to have it.
We're considered a hazardous building.
Yeah, it would be a hazardous building with this toe breaker on the loose. Good for this guy for making this review. I agree. That only solidifies the fact that, I mean, not only is he getting the thing for free, which is allegedly worth $4,000, he's going to get $500 for every person who buys one. And even if only 10 people bought one, that's a good payout for making a video. You know? Now, maybe if you got 100,000 subscribers, that's a small payout for a sponsorship. I'm not sure. But he said percentage-wise, that's actually higher than their competitors.
similarly priced product would pay out well under half that. Rogue
Meech says people should be lining up to hire this man for his honest reviews. Absolutely, and people do. People do. Who can even trust influencers? That is an interesting point. and
Fridge
I'll
affiliate
let him
percentage
finish
is
first
even
here.
less than reps, and they remove their free shipping from the purchase,
So 4% is what he gets from
so
the
they're
other guys.
effectively paying an even lower percentage. Number two is that Vulcan's argument ignores our history of not only being critical to Rogue over the years, but to so many other companies. We've been harsh on Titan Fitness many times, and they're another large manufacturer. When it seemed like every other reviewer really liked Fringe Sports Dane 1.0, I was very critical of it. Fringe is not.
So he definitely has a proven track record of honest reviews and not being a shill for a certain company. And even has videos speaking negatively of the companies that they reference specifically in their lawsuit. But yeah, Eric says an honest review is R&D. Yeah, those companies probably really enjoy having someone like him who is experienced with multiple brands of products, because while he is going to find the things that are wrong with your product, he's going to find the thing that's better on yours than anyone else's. And hearing those negatives is probably worth those couple positives to really get your name out there if you're a small company like they purport to be. I'm not sure if they actually are a small company or not. They call themselves a small company, but they're suing this guy, and I think this is a slippery slope, because like Meech said, who can trust influencers? Who is going to trust influencers if this lawsuit goes through? If Vulcan Strength wins, then that means that anyone who makes a negative video about a product could potentially be sued by the manufacturer or purveyor of that product just for the simply stating their own negative opinion about it. Why would anyone watch any influencer marketing at all after that? If that's going to be the precedent, if the legal precedent is you can't say anything negative about the product you're reviewing or else we're going to sue you, then I'm not going to watch any reviews. Because why would anyone ever say anything negative and risk getting sued? And that just ruins everything. And this is something where companies are spending billions of dollars a year to market and spend money on YouTube and other influencer marketing opportunities. And basically they're shooting themselves in the foot, because if you say that, if you allow this lawsuit to go through, it negates every single review that has ever and will ever happen, especially brand deals. And that leads me to a regular consumer. If you don't have a brand deal and you just say, hey, I bought the Vulcan Strength TALOS or whatever, and I hate it, they can just sue a regular person at that point for being negative about it. So if you bought the thing and put it on your own YouTube channel, like if I did a video about the microphone I use and call out the company by name and say how much I hate it, they can sue me for saying that I don't like their product. I don't think most companies are going to want to sue, because it looks so bad. Like I was saying before, the Streisand effect, you're trying to cover something up and you're only drawing more attention to it. It looks so terrible to be suing someone who's your customer, even if it's a client that you were doing a brand deal with. Because if you are going to do this to the guy who you begged to review your product, how are you going to treat somebody who's just forked over $4,000 to you? I don't know. Meech says, Nance missed his calling. Let's get that man into honestly reviewing things. Yeah, Negative Nancy review channel would go crazy, dude. Absolutely. Eric says, I hope I don't get sued by Liftmaster. Exactly. You gotta like throw in my opinion and allegedly in every sentence now. It's insane. So the other point I have was that the YouTube partnerships are essentially would be made worthless by this lawsuit going through and Vulcan Strength winning. And I think that the big problem with that is that it really stifles the marketplace of ideas if consumers don't feel comfortable enough to even share their honest opinion about whether they liked or enjoyed a product. Like it's the whole like basis of capitalism is that you have customers that can say, yes, we like this thing, or no, we don't like it, and you can choose to buy the thing that you like and not buy the thing you don't like, and you're allowed to not like whatever thing you want. Like, can you imagine if someone like these, like if a food lobby starts suing people for saying, like the anchovy lobby out there, what if the anchovy lobby is going to sue you for making a joke about how anchovies taste bad? Or I mean, like, people on TikTok make reviews about all kind of things. So this is really a slippery slope here, because now I really don't think most companies are going to want to sue their own customers. That's just my perhaps optimistic opinion. But the prospect of it is insane. You have, like, if you go out here and spend your money on whatever product, and then you say on your own personal social media, hey, I don't like it, you can get sued by that company now? This is bad. This is really bad. This is a slippery slope, and I think people don't realize how big of a deal this lawsuit is. So I'm going to follow this. That's Gluck's Gym, if you want to check out his story or check out his other stuff, because he does review a lot of different fitness equipment. If you're into that, if you're looking for that, he definitely has a lot of brutally honest reviews of all different brands and all different types of equipment. It's not just these like functional trainers or whatever you call these, like multi-purpose equipment things. He does review other items as well, but it's all fitness related content. CB says, this is such a bad look for this company. I agree 1,000%. KO says, we are all getting legal actions, right? Yeah, oh my gosh, dude. They're gonna sue all 80 of my subscribers. The hush payments will be deep. That's right. We can only hope. Eric says, would this also go against our First Amendment? You know, I think it would. Because it is your First Amendment right to free speech. But you can be sued for speech under certain terms. But, like we were talking about before, but I think that Vulcan Strength is going to have a lot of trouble proving those terms in a legal standard, because there's no way you can make these arguments they're making and expect like a reasonable person to side with Vulcan Strength. And that's just my view on it. I'm really excited for the YouTube lawyers to get a hold of this story, because I really want to see like Legal Eagle those guys like break this down and what the legal aspects are of this, the civil matter, because I'm no expert in that, but I'm really curious to see how this goes, so I'm definitely going to follow it. Becky says, "Look out, Nance, no more opinions." I know, they're coming for us. I'm not a fan. This is really, really bad for YouTube, and it's bad for the companies. Really, it's bad for marketing. It's bad for everything. It's bad for consumers. Just full stop, in my opinion, allegedly. But hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Watch out if you're reading a review, watching a review, because you never know what these people are being paid to say what they're saying. And that's definitely something to consider. If you're watching a video, how much money is that person getting when you click buy on that thing? Okay? And when you're clicking buy, don't forget to click subscribe and click that like button. Okay? And tell your family that you love them. And I will catch y'all on Friday for the extras. Peace.
We're considered a hazardous building.